We're talking Spanish football on this edition of ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass Extra with Steve Nicol, Janusz Mihalik and Gabriel Marcotti. And Gab, I'd like to start with you first because Barcelona, the league leaders, notching their club record 16th consecutive league win. It's getting almost repetitive and boring to say that Barcelona has been brilliant, but, you know, this is another message to Real Madrid. Is there any coming back from here?
It's the banality of excellence. Oh, look, Lionel Messi scored another hat trick. What is he up? He's up around 40 now. I mean, it's an absurdity how well they're playing. And you know, I thought, you know, after last week when I wasn't so impressed by them, I thought maybe they're hitting a speed bump. I still think they will at some point. But another tremendous performance. Interesting to see also that, you know, in some ways Pep Guardiola went back to the well. You know, he basically played his best 11 with the exception of Abidal slotting in at center half in that back four. Again, this is a team that does almost no rotation whatsoever, and you just wonder if they aren't going to pay a price for that later. But you know, the way they're playing, it won't matter later because they're just going to have such a huge lead.
Indeed, it must be demoralising, Janusz, in some respects for Jose Mourinho. Yes, his team responded by beating Real Sociedad 4-1. To look up the table and see a 7-point difference. I mean, week by week you need to chip away, but is there really any hope for him?
Look, I'm just going to keep enjoying and watching it. You look, one day they're going to lose, and I'm sure people are going to lose their minds, and I'm going to be, I don't know, apologetic forever. But for as long as it lasts, I'm going to enjoy it. Gab, again, he's been doing a lot of rotating in the cup and matches. There's, you know, quite a few players that are getting a number of rests. Again, you know, at some point it's going to end, but for as long as it lasts, let's enjoy it. That second goal, 21 passes by, you know, before Messi put it away. He's been just superb. And let's not forget, they didn't beat just about anyone. They beat Atletico Madrid. And I think there's a reason why in these bigger matches where teams may think, or others may think that this is a team that can possibly Barca, he always plays the stronger 11, because before you go out there, you know you're going to face the best. So it's good while it lasts.
This raises a point.
One day, I'm sure.
Now, this raises something, doesn't it? Is Janusz giving a team like Atletico Madrid too much credit, Steve? Or is it just a clear case that everyone behind Barcelona and Real Madrid is simply not up to the task? And maybe throw Villarreal in there to compete.
I think they can compete, but they're just not good enough. You know, you have to feel sorry for Real Madrid. Imagine, can you hear those words?
Well, why should we feel sorry for them? Look at the amount of money they've spent on bringing in the best.
Because they're a good side. They're great to watch. They score goals. Yeah, you know, they've got their own magician in Ronaldo, but nobody's really paying too much attention because Barcelona's just steaming on and on. It's frightening. Yeah,
it's frightening. But when you look at Barcelona, are you taking notes and saying to your boys at New England Revolution, this is how we have to play?
I think we've got a wee bit to go before we get there. We get to that stage, but you never know, one day.
Gab, Real Madrid on the other side. Yes, they got the victory against Real Sociedad as expected, but they've been struggling in recent weeks, dropping points here and there. Do you think they're going to finish the season strongly, or is it going to be them just dropping away?
Well, I think what was really encouraging was, you know, against Real Sociedad, Mourinho went out there and he moved to the plan B. He found space in his lineup for Kaká. He played Adebayor up front. And we just saw something a little bit different, you know, than the usual lineup. He had Xabi Alonso and Diarra back in midfield. That worked pretty well. I think if he can get Kaká to be productive, you know, maybe he'll be off the bench, maybe he won't start every game, maybe he'll come in here and there, then I think he's got some real added value. And I think Adebayor, you know, while maybe he's, you know, different sort of player to Higuain, you know, he can give Real Madrid that dimension that certainly was lacking after Higuain got injured. But I think I'm not going to write them off. I think they can close the gap. Whether they will close the gap, well, that's a whole other issue.
Yes, and Steve, we don't get to see you often these days, and I know you're in pre-season training now with New England Revolution, so I'll ask you this before we let you go. Barcelona to hold on, or do you see Real Madrid coming back into it at some stage?
Well, I think clearly the smart money's on Barcelona. They have to lose at least 3 games or so. They need to lose at least 2 and draw 1. You know, Real Madrid have to keep winning. They're going to slip up as well. For me, it's Barca's.
Okay, well, thank you again, Steve, Janusz and Gab. That's it for now. Stay with us here at soccernet.com to follow all that's happening in Spain and the rest of the football world.